Today, I'm revealing 5 all too common asylum interview mistakes that can torpedo your asylum case and potentially lead to deportation. These are the critical errors I saw firsthand during my years working for the government's 2 main agencies for asylum and refugee matters. I'm going to tip you off so that you don't get tripped up by these costly errors, and we're starting right now. I'm Brian Manning, and I used to be an asylum officer with the government, but now, as an asylum lawyer, I help immigrants all over the country secure their future in America through asylum. Let me know in the comments if you've got an asylum case pending or are considering applying. I'd especially like to hear from you if you've been waiting for an asylum interview for multiple years. Let me know how long you've been waiting. Okay, asylum interview mistake number 1, the concentration killer, losing mental focus during your interview. Focus is the single most critical factor that can make or break your asylum interview. I've seen countless cases where otherwise strong asylum claims were destroyed simply because the applicant lost mental concentration. During my years adjudicating thousands of immigration applications, I witnessed a consistent pattern. Interviews that lasted 3, 4, even 8 hours would systematically break down applicants' mental resilience. The asylum interview is a mental marathon, not a sprint. Let me paint a vivid picture of what you're up against. Asylum officers are trained to create an interview environment that tests your mental endurance. They will ask repetitive questions, suddenly change conversation topics, interrupt your responses, use complex language, and create moments of intentional psychological pressure. Your brain will be working overtime, processing traumatic memories while simultaneously trying to communicate clearly and consistently. This is why mental discipline is absolutely crucial. Imagine your mind as a high-performance engine. You need to maintain peak performance for hours, filtering every word, carefully constructing responses that are both honest and strategically sound. One moment of mental fatigue can lead to a critical mistake that derails your entire case. To maintain your concentration, you must approach the interview with a deliberate strategy. Break each question into careful steps, listen with absolute precision, take a brief moment to carefully formulate your response, and then answer directly and thoughtfully. Remember, your physical state directly impacts your mental performance, so prepare yourself meticulously. Get a full night of uninterrupted sleep, eat a substantial protein-rich breakfast, stay hydrated, and bring easily digestible snacks. You may also want to practice meditation or deep breathing techniques to help maintain your mental clarity. All right, number 2, the silent judgment, unprofessional presentation. Your appearance speaks volumes before you even utter a single word, and many people harm their case by looking sloppy or unprofessional. The asylum interview is essentially a high-stakes professional meeting where your entire future hangs in the balance. Your appearance communicates respect, seriousness, and understanding of the process's gravity. When selecting your interview attire, think conservative and professional. For men, this means pressed khaki or dress pants with a crisp, button-down shirt. Women should opt for a professional dress or a combination of dress pants or skirt with a modest blouse. The goal is to look put together, respectful, and serious about your asylum claim. Pay attention to the smallest details. Ensure your clothing is clean and wrinkle-free. Choose solid, subdued colors. Minimize jewelry and accessories. Maintain a neat professional hairstyle. And here's a pro tip from my years of experience. Bring a light jacket. Asylum offices are notoriously cold, and you don't want to be shivering while explaining potentially life-threatening experiences from your home country. Remember, you're not just presenting your case, you're presenting yourself as a credible, trustworthy individual worthy of protection. Your appearance is the first opportunity to demonstrate your understanding of the gravity of this process. Next up, asylum interview mistake number 3, the credibility trap, dishonesty and information fabrication. Honesty is not just a moral imperative in asylum interviews, it's your absolute strategic lifeline. Never, under any circumstances, attempt to guess, fabricate, or embellish information. Asylum officers are extensively trained to detect inconsistencies. They will cross-reference your verbal testimony with written materials, look for subtle discrepancies in your narrative, and analyze your body language and response patterns. The most powerful words in your interview are simple. I don't know, and I don't remember. These phrases are not weaknesses, they are strengths. They demonstrate your commitment to telling the truth, your understanding of the interview's seriousness, and your credibility. Learn to use qualifying language that provides flexibility while maintaining honesty. Phrases like, "to the best of my memory," or "I believe it was approximately," acknowledge human memory's imperfections while showing you're making a genuine effort to be accurate. Practice these phrases until they feel natural. Your goal is to communicate clearly and honestly, without fear of appearing uncertain. Asylum officers appreciate candor far more than fabricated details. They understand that traumatic experiences can be difficult to recall with perfect precision. What matters most is your genuine attempt to share your truth. Number 4. Navigating psychological turbulence. Emotional composure. Asylum. Interviews require discussing potentially the most traumatic experiences of your life. Maintaining emotional equilibrium is not just recommended, it's essential. If you can't express yourself and recount your story because you're overwhelmed with emotion, you will not win your case. It's as simple as that. Think of yourself as a professional navigator steering through an emotional storm. You must remain steady, regardless of the intense psychological currents surrounding your experiences. It's normal and acceptable to feel emotional during your interview. Don't fight against your feelings, but also don't let them overwhelm you. Officers are trained to understand the emotional complexity of asylum cases. They expect and accommodate human emotional responses. A few tears or a momentary pause will not harm your case. Develop emotional management techniques before your interview. Practice deep, controlled breathing. Learn grounding exercises that can help you stay present. Mentally prepare yourself for discussing difficult experiences. Bring tissues, and don't be afraid to request a short break if you feel overwhelmed. What you must avoid is becoming uncontrollably emotional. Try your best to prevent uncontrolled sobbing, becoming combative or defensive, or shutting down completely. Your primary goal is to maintain the ability to communicate clearly and effectively. Okay, last but not least, asylum mistake number 5, the dance of dialogue. Relinquishing interview control. Trying to dominate your asylum interview is a huge mistake. Your asylum interview is not a narrative you control, it's a structured dialogue where the officer leads and you follow with strategic precision. Officers will ask specific, sometimes seemingly random questions, interrupt your responses, change topics abruptly, and test your ability to stay focused and consistent. Think of the interview like a complex dance. The officer leads, but you can still move gracefully within that structure. Your job is to listen carefully to each question, provide direct and concise answers, subtly weave in crucial information about your case, and maintain professional composure. Always answer the exact question asked, be direct and succinct, and add relevant context briefly. Stay adaptable and professional, even if the officer seems unsympathetic or aggressive. Many officers who appear tough still grant asylum to deserving cases. Your written materials are a roadmap, but your verbal testimony is the actual journey. Practice telling your story out loud, focusing on clarity, detail, and concision. Listen, I've witnessed countless cases where strong asylum claims were undermined by the mistakes we've covered today. By avoiding these critical errors, you'll dramatically improve your chances of asylum approval. If you're ready to take the next step and get help with your asylum case, call my office today. That number is 713-909-0401. Remember, we help people all over the country, so it doesn't matter where you live. Call us now to schedule an asylum strategy session, so we can help you secure your future in the United States through asylum. Again, I'm Brian Manning, and it's an honor to serve you in your asylum journey.